We always have a motivational speaker. We've got a top man for you now. Please turn up your ears and welcome up to the MMTV corner, the one and only Mr. Jack Nolan. Up here, man. How you doing, Jack? You right? Yeah, good. Listen, take a seat. First of all, can I just congratulate you on being the smartest dressed guest we've ever had?
Thanks, mate.
So you're right with that. I had a good chat with you earlier on. We need to apologise as well if you're watching at home as well. The show is running a little bit late tonight due to a few technical issues earlier on. But we've got you here now, and thank you. I had a good chat with you in the dressing room earlier on about stuff you do and all that kind of stuff. You're an author, you're an actor, you're a motivational speaker. Let's go back to the beginning and start at the beginning. Tell us about your childhood and, you know, what you were like as a kid and how things were then.
When I was a kid, I was, really shy, nervous, scared kid. You wouldn't expect me to be the person who I was then to become who I am today.
Where was growing up? Where was it? Where was home?
North Manchester, New Moston.
Yeah.
So it was, it was good. It was good. You know what I mean? I had a great childhood, but I was quite a lonely kid. I didn't have that many friends. Spent a lot of time isolated in my room, playing with toys and reading and watching films and all that kind of stuff. So it was hard for me to sort of come out of my shell to, become the person that you see me as today. So what I did was to get my confidence up and all that kind of stuff. My mum and dad said to me, why don't you try get into acting? Because I used to watch a lot of films and they thought, you know what, give it a go. So I give it a go and it just made me come out of my shell, made me become confident. I started to play with, words and that. I was undiagnosed with dyslexia, so I didn't know I was suffering, in schools and stuff like that. So I was...
School didn't pick up on that?
Nah, school didn't pick up on that. So I went through the school system a bit blind, really, thinking I was a bit stupid, you know what I mean? It took me a long time to learn how to proper read, took me a long time to how to spell words, and you know what I mean? Because I was falling behind in the lessons and stuff like that. So I struggled through my schooling sort of environment, but I had to sort of give myself positive messages all the time that, sort of motivate myself, help me with my own self-talk, because I had teachers say to me that you'll never be successful in life, Jack. And they were seeing the outside of who I was then, but they didn't see the potential of what I could have been, if you know what I mean.
Do you know what, just listening to what you're saying there, I want to ask you one question. You were saying the teachers couldn't see the real you, if that's a fair comment. What made you decide to go, hang on a minute, this is me? What made you think, I'm not who the teachers are telling me I am, this is me? What were the point when you thought, I'm going to show the world who I am?
Well, moving on into high school, and the point, what sort of the penny dropped for me when I said I'm going to show the world who I am, was when the careers advisor said to me, she said, listen, Jack, it's unrealistic for you to believe that you're going to be an actor, writer, speaker, work in films, creative industries, all this stuff that you've got going for you in your head. It's unrealistic. So then I replied to her, I said, look, listen, miss, it's unrealistic to walk into a plane, fly across to another country, but fortunately the Wright brothers didn't think so. I said, it's unrealistic to flick a switch and a light to come on, but fortunately Edison didn't think so. So that's what I said to her, and that's when the penny dropped for me. Then I thought, you know what, I'm going to show this teacher all the pain that I've gone through, all the people who've said that I can't do anything in life. I thought, you know what, I'm going to show him something. And that something was that I was going to be in a feature film. That was my goal. Now, that's quite a big goal for a 15-year-old lad to have it, you know what I mean? I'm going to be a movie star, wink, wink, nod.
I think you just touched up on something there. So many of our heroes, sports people, music people always say that the teachers said to him, don't do it. I think Roger Dolce did a book recently, and he called it the name of the teacher who had said to him, you'll never make a career in music or something like that. And I think that's something that in schools perhaps they do say, no, you're never going to... I was always told to get a proper job and I'm here. You know what I mean? I never, I think what you did was such an inspirational thing. You followed your dreams and you went into acting. Tell us about your acting career, because that was the first thing you did, wasn't it?
Yeah. So leading on from that conversation with the careers advisor, a few weeks later I got an audition to go and do a part in a film called Blood. So I was 15 years old and it had people in it like Stephen Graham, Mark Strong, and I was dead excited to go and audition for this part. So I walked in there, stuck my feet at the director's desk, and I said to him, look, my name's Jack Nolan. I said, you don't know anything about me, but I know there's people outside who are TV actors and all this carry on, but I'm going to do this part to the best of my ability, and we'll see what happens. So he sort of looked at me as if to go, who's this young 15-year-old lad walking in with massive amounts of confidence, massive amount of belief in himself? So it was to play like a bit of a scally lad, so I did my best go at it, you know what I mean? And then from there, a few weeks later, I got a phone call, and it was only a bit part, you know what I mean, only a small part, but to me it was a massive thing.
Start somewhere, doesn't it?
Yeah, start somewhere. So I ended up getting the part for this film and in Blood. So from there, I went on a set, and my dad took me, I was in Liverpool, so my dad drove me down, and it was like a surreal experience, because when I walked into the set, I seen Stephen Graham, I seen Mark Strong, and I said to my mates a few weeks before it, I said, you know what, I'm going to work with the greats, and I was mentioning their names, and for them it was so surreal as well to see me sort of speak it into existence, my dream to become a reality. And I know it's a bit hocus pocus and a bit like law of the attraction sort of stuff, but for me it was a reality, you know what I mean, because I was putting in the work, I was putting in the hours, I was putting in everything just to get towards that little stepping stone.
If nobody did what you did and went for it like you did, there'd be no sports people, there'd be no actors, there'd be no musicians. Total respect to you for that. Being a 15-year-old lad from New Moston, what did all your mates think about you going into like an acting career rather than football and music?
Well, they thought it was a bit like, you know, I don't like to say the word, a bit feminine, a bit soft, like, oh, Jack's always an actor or whatever, always into writing, always into this creative sort of field. Well, I didn't really have like a lot of mates, but the mates that I did have, they was wanted to be like rugby players or footballers and that sort of thing. So they sort of laughed at me a little bit, you know what I mean, to sort of say, oh yeah, okay. But when I got that first film job, then they started to take me more seriously. You know what I mean? Like, oh, yo, Jack's just in a feature film. Now he's in a theatre production with Karen Woods, and now he's doing all these exciting things. And we're still trying to do that sort of stuff in our little path, but you know what I mean?
I think it's a great thing that even with peer pressure from lads that wanted to be rugby players, footballers, and you carried on with your dreams. You did your acting, and then you moved on to writing books. You wrote 2 books that are now available in Waterstones and all the top books, On the Job and Dead Ends. What made you move from all of a sudden acting to putting pen to paper?
Well, I started to realise that anything was possible, and anything that I put my mind to, I could create for myself. So I was inspired by Karen Woods when I was about 15, 16, because I was doing a lot of plays with her at the time, a lot of theatre productions. And then I thought, well, if she can do it, there's no reason why I can't do it. And there's nothing stopping me or getting in my way other than myself. So every time I had the opportunity to write, I'd be writing on my phone to and from college. I was writing on my phone all the time. I did most of my work on my phone and then I copy and paste it onto my Word document.
As a kid, did you read a lot of books anyway?
I can't say I have. I watched a million films though, and my dad goes to me, he goes, I can't believe you got 2 books in that, and you've never read that many in your life. How can it be possible? How can you put your words into such a way that you can tell a story that, you know, 100k words, you know what I mean? It's a lot of words for each book.
You wrote these books, and how did you get people to take it seriously, get it published and get it in, you know, Waterstones? How did that happen?
Well, to get myself into, the story goes is like, I was trying to get the book published, but I ended up getting a bit unwell at university, and I was still trying to get my work out there and trying to get into TV as well at the same time, which I successfully did through persistence and consistency. But I'm going to stay back on track to what you're saying with the books and that, because I know you want to read that story. So I got myself, after I got out of hospital, which we can talk a little bit about later, I got out of hospital and I had to give myself a sense of purpose, because my bird just left me after 5 years, and I thought, that's it, another kick in the teeth. I need to give myself a purpose to get up in the morning. And with mental health problems, that's one of the biggest sort of challenges that you have, you know what I mean? So I thought, I'm going to get this book published, and even though it was sat on the shelf for 2 years collecting dust, because I finished it at 18, and 2 years later I was still collecting dust and rejection letter after rejection letter. So I got really frustrated, and I thought, I need to do something about this. So I picked on a publisher, and I thought, right, this is it. I'm going to get laser focused like a sniper and just blow him to bits, basically, with my phone calls, like Wolf of Wall Street style. So I was going like, my name's Jack Nolan, I've got this great book and that, will you give it an opportunity to read, will you check it out, you know, read something, just humour me. And I said, right, okay. And the second time I was like, oh, I'm too busy. And it went on for weeks, a period of 5 weeks, battering this one publisher, till eventually he gave me the opportunity to have a meeting with him, and he presented me with a contract. Now it was like something out of a film, mate, I swear down.
And what, that was that because of pure pressure, what you put on him?
Pure pressure, mate, persistence, sales. I took a little bit off my dad, you know what I mean? Like, he's a salesman, my dad. But, you know, I was persistent, I was consistent, I was positive, I kept myself strong. And that was the longest 5 weeks of my life. And it made me realise that, wow, you could do anything if you just stay laser focused on it. So from there, the publisher got us all registered on Waterstone and stuff like that, and said, Jack, you know, just be happy with what you got. You know, you got this book launch coming out, and you got to sell as many copies as you can, and all that kind of stuff. But I thought, nah, I want to get in Waterstones, because, you know, when I was a kid walking through the shop, and especially walking through there with my bird, you know what I mean, in the past, my ex-bird, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to get myself on this shelf somehow, some way. So what I did was, I got all the I saved up a little bit of money, got all the chocolate, biscuits, Millie's cookies, And I sent them in week by week, kept going in, just giving them biscuits, getting all pally with the staff and that. You know, they thought I was the publisher.
Yeah.
Thought, who is this kid coming in, you know what I mean? So then eventually I got the attention of the regional manager of Waterstones in Manchester. He came down the stairs and he said, well, who is this Jack Nolan who keeps knocking on the door? You know, we're not publishers, we're just a bookshop, you know what I mean? What's the catch here? So I said to him, look, not going to be funny, mate. I'm trying to inspire people that you can do anything you want in life. And if I got this book on the shelf, it wouldn't mean just a lot to me, but it'd mean a lot to a lot of people that these opportunities out there and we can make things happen if we put our mind to it. So we sort of, you know, battle went forth and, you know, had a bit of a rocky moment with him. And then eventually, through persuading him, he gave me the opportunity to get on the shelf. And from there, I've been on the shelf in Manchester Waterstones in the Arndale ever since.
I genuinely think, I've done this job a long time, you're probably the most determined person I've ever met in my life. You're such an inspiration. We're going to talk more because obviously we haven't, you know, got ages and ages. We've spoke about your acting, we've spoke about the books you've done, and, you know, just listening to you, I meant what I just said. You do go out doing a lot of motivational speaking now. I'm going to touch upon that in a minute, but first of all, you did mention that while you were doing all this at a young age, the determination of being an actor, being a writer, getting your book in the biggest bookshop in the world and all that kind of stuff. You were battling a few issues of yourself as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's true, mate. At the time, I was I got into university and I was suffering with a lot of stress from lecturers and parents and the pressures of going to university to get this badge of honour, what really don't mean a lot. So, well, it doesn't mean a lot to me, you know what I mean, to other people out there when they get an education, you know, go and do what you need to do for you. But for me, it wasn't the right step. It wasn't the right step forward because I was working in television at the same time while I was in university, and then lecturers saying to me, you know, like, you need to come for more classes, and they weren't really supportive of the vision and the dream that I had, even though it was a TV course. So imagine you're working in TV, your TV mates going, right, just leave the degree now and carry on with us or whatever. On the quiet, just drop out. And it's not a bad thing, you know, we've not got degrees, we've done it alright. So you imagine your TV mates telling you and your lecturers saying, no, this is the best thing in the world and all this carry on. And then you've got your mum and dad saying, you need to get a degree, you need to get a degree. And then you've got your mates going, yeah, get a degree. And then you've got your girlfriend doing your wedding. And then you've got all these...
She sounds like a right painter.
She was at the time, but it's in the past, innit? You know what I mean? But you've got like a lot of personal stresses and your own ambitions, what you want trying to pursue. And you're facing rejection daily because you're on the phones to publishers, you're on the phones to TV companies, you're on the phones to every person you can get yourself into a situation where you want. And you're facing rejection after rejection until eventually I was running too fast. And my metaphorical oxygen just ran out and I had a breakdown which turned into a psychosis episode, which is a very sad thing to go through. It's where you lose touch of reality because there's massive amounts of stress. It's what you get like, you know, these big time businessmen who don't want to admit it. They call it nervous breakdowns in the business world, but in reality it's just an undiagnosed mental health problem we've got. But with myself, I was yet to learn what it was. And a psychosis episode is where, like I mentioned, you lose touch of reality. Your mind starts racing, you get all different types of thoughts and you get delusional thinking. And before you knew it, I was locked up in a mental hospital for the first time.
So this happened, which is a pretty mad thing, and a lot of people would have just thought, so everything. You didn't. You ended up in this, you know, what pulled you through that? What got you through it?
What pulled me through it, to be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie, it was the people in there. Even though they was in worse situations than I was, people trying to commit suicide, people doing all stupid behaviours, attacking each other, fighting, it was like being in like strange ways, but in a safe environment for, you know what I mean? I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, yeah.
It's like being a prison in your mind, being a prison in a physical space, because you're not allowed out, you know what I mean, unless you're on like good behaviour, you could say, you know what I mean? That's when you build the trust with them, when you come back down to being like normal in their eyes. So I started giving them like motivational speeches just by not by chance but by conscious awareness, because the penny dropped for me when someone said to me, I'm in a mental asylum. And that's when the penny dropped for me like that. I thought, you know what? This isn't right, this. I'm not mental. There's nothing wrong with me. I don't know what I got here. But I'll tell you one thing, if I'm in here and all these people are negative and bad and they're trying to do bad things to themselves, I'm going to put the positiveness into that environment. So I started saying to him, you can become anything you want in this world, and despite of whatever's going on in your mind right now, if you're in a dark place, let me be the North Star, and I will get you through these circumstances and situations that you're going through in your life. And I know there's a lot of pain going on. I know there's a lot of suffering going on in your mind. but guess what? You can get through these dark times right now as we speak. And I was saying these like positive messages to him. You know what I mean? I said, you've got the spirit of a lion. And that's when the doctors went up to me and said, Jack, do you believe you're a lion? I said, no, I'm not fucking Mufasa or anything like that, you know what I mean? I said, I'm not Lion King. I said, you know, it's real life to me, and I believe I've got the spirit of a lion, you know what I mean? To go on with our strength to become the people that we need to be in the world.
It must have been an unbelievably worrying time for your family and friends where you was in there. And I suppose you didn't have any control of saying when it was over. When was the point you realised that, right, I'm through this now?
It took me a very long time, to be honest with you, mate. Like, eventually I got out of the hospital and I said to my family I could have been in there for a year. But again, I have a pattern in my life where I prove a lot of people wrong, you know what I mean? So I ended up getting out in 19 days, which is a, you know, really fast recovery process. But my journey and my battles wasn't over from there, mate. You know what I mean? I was on the couch and I was scared to go outside. I was scared to go to the shop. I was scared to go to the pub with my mates. I was scared to do a lot of things. It took me a long time to rebuild my life.
Same question as what I asked before. What got you through that then?
Well, what got me through that was the support of my family. My dad used to take me for walks, used to give me like his own motivational speeches to me. He used to say, Jack, you're 10% now, we're going to get you to 20% next week, and so on, we're going to get you back to 100%, and you're going to be better than ever, you're going to be 10 times stronger, you're going to be this, that and the other. And he used to give me these positive messages that really meant a lot to me at that time, because without that positive energy and supporting the family, I wouldn't have been able to climb out of them dark holes that I was suffering with by myself.
Your life story so far is amazing. It doesn't stop there. You get yourself sorted with the help of your family and friends and all that kind of stuff, and then you decide, which is the reason we've got you here tonight, to go and inspire and, you know, motivate other people. How did you end up doing that?
Well, I sort of fell into it. I always had a bit of a dream, really, you know, that I wanted to share my story one day, but my family used to say, oh, you've not really got a bit of a story there, you know what I mean? You've got nothing to sort of say, even though I was like passionate about wanting to do it one day. So it happened, I fell into it when I came out of a second mental health experience, when I got locked up for the second time. And I came out of that and I thought, you know what, I can't believe this has happened to me. And I went through the same processes, and I'd started helping people, fell back into my same roots and that. When I came out, I thought, right, I need to do something here, you know what I mean? So my dad said to me, why don't you go to a mental health charity? So I went, all right, okay. But I went, Dad, I don't really want to go to a mental health charity, because even in my mind, I know there's no stigma there anymore, but there still was a bit of stigma about me walking into that.
The judgment.
Yeah, the judgment and that, and I thought, I don't know what to expect here. And I was trying to like get myself out of it by saying, oh, well, I'm writing a second book, Dad, and I'm doing this, and I've got too many things going on. And it basically just said, Jack, just do it. You know what I mean? He sort of dragged me there a little bit, you know what I mean? You know, when he got a fine that day, you know what I mean? Because he was parked in the wrong place outside the charity. But other than that, you know, it was probably the best investment, you could say, that I've had for myself, because I walked into that charity, there was people who was like-minded, people who was on the same wavelength, people who was on the same level as me, who've been in probably worse situations and scrapes than I have. So, these people came into the charity, you know, like big banks and big investors of the charity, 42nd Street, and I just sort of said to him, you know, I said, look, like, here's my story. I said, this is what I've been doing. I said, here's my books, and I'm trying to get out there, share a positive message, and try and promote like positivity and that. And then, without me even realising, I was selling myself to these, you know, these big people, and I didn't know how much influence they had. I didn't know how special they was, you know what I mean? And then Camelot came in, Camelot Lottery, and then I got picked to go and speak to Camelot Lottery to sort of represent the charity. So I was speaking to him there, telling him the story. Before you knew it, a few weeks later, I got a phone call off him saying, would you be interested in doing a motivational speech to all our sales reps at Camelot Lottery?
Wow.
And that was on a big scale, that was a few hundred people, big stage, like Tony Robbins style. And I thought, oh my God, you know what I mean? I thought, as I was driving up there in the car, I was like, have I really got what it takes, you know what I mean, to do this, something like this on a big scale? And I had to say to myself, well, of course you have, I'm here now, I can't turn back, you know what I mean? As soon as I got on the stage, mate, I was like, oh my God, I was looking around, there was hundreds of people, and I was like, oh my God, this is what it's all about.
Well, you obviously absolutely smashed it. So since you've been doing the motivational speeches, what kind of places have you been going to doing them?
I've been doing them everywhere and every opportunity I get, mate. I do like free ones for charities. I've done a school ages ago. I've been doing like little conferences, NHS stuff. Anywhere really where I get the opportunity to speak like we are today, I just go up there and give my best, you know what I mean?
And you must have inspired a hell of a lot of people, it goes without saying. Have you had any like good stories come back because of hearing you speak, such things happened?
Yeah, you have to be honest with you, mate. I've had people, right, grown men, cry. And it really sort of makes me feel bad in a way, because I don't want to hurt anyone, I don't want to upset anyone, I've not got an agenda to do anything bad to anyone, but to see grown men and grown women cry from the result and the impact from me sharing my story with them inspires me to keep going forward, you know what I mean? Because they must have some of their own demons, you know what I mean? And to be heartfelt and touched by what I have to say actually makes a difference to me as well as their lives.
You've obviously, in a short space of time really, you know, you've done the acting, you've done the books, you're doing the motivational speaking. What's the future for Jack Nolan? Is it the speaking? Are you going to do more acting, writing? What's the crack?
Well, the main goal for myself, right, it's very ambitious, it's very big, it's very...
Not like you.
I know, yeah, it's very delusional for what doctors would say to me. But I want to make a feature film one day. And I'm already in the process of doing a little steps towards that. So within a few years, hopefully...
What's it going to be about?
Well, I was struggling for a story, so I'm thinking about basing it on my second book called Dead Ends.
Right.
So...
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll look forward to that. Make sure you come and tell us more about that. But I'll tell you what, right, as well as we're so lucky, each episode of MMTV we have an inspirational speaker and a motivational speaker. But I can honestly say, tonight, I think I've met the most determined person I've ever met in all my life. Thank you for coming and sharing your story. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for one and only Jack Nolan. Okay, we have got some more live music now. Cheers, Jack. Top man with great stories, and don't forget, I know he's left one of his books here. Do support him, yeah. Follow him on social media, pick up his books, and like I say, get to one of his talks as well, yeah. He's a top man with a lot of great stories to tell. Okay, it is time for some more live music. You are watching MMTV. We are live from Marley Mancunia studio. If you're wondering what's going on, we're running a little bit late because of a few technical issues, but all of these will be on YouTube and all that kind of stuff again. We're live from Manchester. It's all about music.